So the point is that we have been very forthcoming, and we want to make sure that this country moves forward in a transparent manner. In Punjab, we have tried to show that you can have zero tolerance for corruption. In 3.5 years, not a single corruption case has come out against any minister or any chief minister, unlike other provinces and the centre. We have made recruitments in Punjab on very large scale. 35,000 teachers were recruited recently. I can swear, my whatever thing you may say, not a single teacher on recommendation of any MNA MP, 200% on merit.
MNAs are annoyed.
Yeah. We appointed thousands of policemen, 200% I can tell you, they were all on merit. So much so that we even went to the extent of filming through video cameras their finish lines to see that, who crosses the line first in their physical fitness test, so that everything is recorded and everything is transparent. So we are trying to bring merit. We have shown that merit can be introduced. We have shown that you can have zero tolerance for corruption and still govern. So I think these things are doable, and our track record speaks. We would still like to do better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's more of a policy question. You spoke of things that could be resolved. So I just wanted to know regarding water. You said there's a problem with water, and also the violence. And how would you address both?
You see, water, again, it is again a matter of history that you should know that what holds the 4 provinces together is the Water Accord of 1991, which was done under first Nawaz Sharif government. We were able to bring all the provinces together on a water accord to share water resources. So that Musharraf tried to break, but then finally came back on that water accord. Now, we need to do the following things. One, on water, I think we need to go for conservation of water. We are throwing still about 35 million acre feet of water into seas. More than that probably. When we contest India that we are building dams in Kashmir, they say that we need water, you don't need water because you are already throwing your water into the sea. So why are you telling us that you are trying to hold our water in reserve? So if you are throwing your water in open seas, that means you already have surplus water. So I think we need to conserve our water and we need to build water storages. Now why we have not been able to build water storages is because of again political disputes under dictatorships. Smaller provinces have felt threatened from Punjab, which is a larger province. So if we had strong institutions like Supreme Court, Judiciary, Parliament, where smaller province felt that no big province can steal our water, we probably would have built Calabar Dam by now. Then there would be no political controversy on Calabar Dam. But because the insecurity persists in the minds of small provinces, they have strong observation. So you cannot proceed with a project which may give you some economic gain, but politically that may divide the country. So I think that is a zero-sum game. That is what is holding us. But then we need to work on the waterways. How we can make them, pakka, or we can have concrete waterways so that we sort of reduce the wastage of water we have. We should go to drip irrigation systems, which use water more efficiently. So we need to take number of steps in order to conserve water and to use water more efficiently, and we need to create reservoirs. Now, let me give you an example. Bhasha Dam. By the time Bhasha Dam would be completed, we would not add anything new to Pakistan's water reservoir capacity because we have lost almost so much in silting of Yamuna and Tarbela that Bhasha is only going to make up for the lost capacity we have. There is a delta in Tarbela which is about 200 feet high and 40 kilometers long, made of silt, which has reduced the water storage capacity of Tarbela from 11.5 billion acre feet to about 5 billion. So Tarbela's capacity has already been lost by 50%. So these are, again, as I said, serious issues. We need political debate and consensus to be able to resolve them. Why? Cost of electricity from water is 1.59 rupees per unit. cost of generating electricity from coal and gas is about 5.3, 5.4. And from thermal, it is about 12.5 rupees. So look at the difference, 12.5 and 1.5 rupee difference. Therefore, you know that violence, I think on violence we need to understand that violence has many reasons. It's not just religious extremism which is promoting violence. It is intolerance on different counts. As I said, how would you describe the intolerance in Karachi? In Balochistan, there is violence. It has a different background. In Balochistan, you need to bring back General Musharraf to trial for Akbar Bukti in order to satisfy the Balochis for the assassination of General Akbar Bukti. And you need to hold the people who are missing accountable. Those accountable who have made people missing in Balochistan, where are they, who are they? They have to be accounted for. Unless those people are accounted for, they will not be satisfied. So we need a political solution as well as an economic solution to pacify Balochistan. We need better enforcement of law in Karachi to curb violence in Karachi. We need to depoliticize Karachi police, which has been politicized. And mind you, after Hakim Saeed murder or assassination, we had broken the back of violence in Karachi. It was only under Musharraf era that many of those criminals who had been rounded up, they were released, and he gave free hand to some forces, and then again Karachi was back to that violence. Otherwise, Karachi had been very much brought back into normalcy. The religious extremists, we need to separate them from those who are fighting for collateral damage. You need to compensate them. You need to hold some people accountable who have, been responsible for some of the damage in those areas. You need to have a new religious discourse to de-weaponize the minds of those religious youth who see violence as the major instrument of revenge against the injustices. So, you need to have a new discourse or a new narrative which will enable them to change their ideas or thoughts. You need to have better justice. For example, this whole SOAS movement for religious extremism, it started from their demand for an efficient justice system. And from there they became sympathizers of Taliban. So, we need to move on all these fronts. These are all doable things. They will take some time, but they are not, as I said, undoables. They can all be done. But then also, we need to find a solution to peace in our region, because some of this violence is also thrown back at us from other countries in the region, who hold us responsible for some interference in their country's affairs. So we need to sit down with India and Afghanistan and work out a mutual arrangement how we will not interfere in each other's matters and we will live peacefully and let others live peacefully. So that requires a new orientation in the regional policy we need to pursue in our foreign policy.
Okay, we'll go to the student at the back.
Just a quick question. Don't you think that businessmen or landlords are not honest enough with the poor people or with the common man? Look, as you have the business and I am a common man, so your first priority is your business, not me. Just let me remember your time when Supreme Court ordered sugar mills to sell the sugar on the rate of 40 rupees, but sugar mills denied to supply the sugar, and they were selling 70 or 75.
Again, you cannot short circuit the law of economics. The law of economics says that prices are a function of demand and supply. If you create shortage in the market, no matter what law or what ruling you have from the court, if there is shortage in the market, the prices cannot be brought down. Government of Punjab wrote letters to federal government 6 months in advance of the time of import of sugar, when if they had imported that sugar in time, the prices would have remained stable. They deliberately sat on the decision in the ECC to import sugar, to meet that shortage in the market, and created a situation in the country where sugar prices skyrocketed. So it was failure of the federal government to import sugar in time. If market had enough sugar, prices would not shoot. Similarly, they have done the same game with fertilizer this time. We wrote them in time and asked them that you must import fertilizer in time because there will be shortage of fertilizer. They delayed it, and till then the price was increased by $200, and then also they did not import full amount. They imported short, a little less amount, and as a result, now they are using those permits of imported sugars for their MNS and MPS to sell the sugar, the urea in the black market and make money.
No, sir, I'm saying that, look, each and every politician is a businessman. Okay. So why do you serve me as a common man?
No,
again, sorry.
Let me answer your question. The point is, if I am not a businessman, how do you expect me to survive as an MNA? Because as an MNA, my only take-home salary is about 60,000 rupees a month. And if you monetize my benefits of daily allowance, which I only get during the course of the session, my daily allowances, and if you also monetize them and add them, my whole package comes out to about 100,000 rupees a month. Now, as an MNA, when I become an MNA, I incur on myself a public responsibility of at least 200,000 to 250,000 rupees in terms of my official public expenditure. Either then you should give full-time employment to your MNAs and MPs like they have here in UK. They pay them enough so that they are expected to devote themselves full-time to their work as member of the parliament. Or,
I don't think it's enough.
I mean, whatever, 40,000 or kitna pounds they get, 50,000 pounds, but then
it should be full-time.
yeah, but the point is, in Pakistan, if you are saying that we are business क्यों करते हैं, कोई और business क्यों करता है, I have to make my living. I cannot survive on the salary.
Okay, that's fine. Let me move on to the next question for Ms. Chuna.
This is so obvious from
I raised my hand earlier.
Yes, you were waiting for a while.
Mr. Ahsan, welcome to London. My name is Imran Khan. I'm an eminent founder member of EPP. My question is not polemic, but it may sound so. The thing is this, it's my own experience that feudalism in every feudal law, without exception, is an inveterate and incorrigible killer. Killer of the democratic quality in the country, I put it. And their sons and daughters are now coming to England to get more education, to be more equipped, and then to go and kill those poor people.
Do you have a question?
What are your plans? My question is, what are your plans to counter and kill feudalism, which is as dangerous as the American drones?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll answer your question.
That's my question.
Thank you.
From last several years, there are only two parties we know that Muslim Noon and PPP is struggling for each other, and they अपनी जुबान में कहते हैं बारियां लगी हैं, they come over again and again. So next bari is yours. Let me know, okay? But someone is like jumping up and Imran Khan, and you know that Pakistan is still below, under poverty. Most of the people are under poverty line, and you say that we are going to change everything, even though you have already given two chances. If you think you cannot change anything, why don't you leave? That is my question.
You see, first of all, my young man, the point is this, that you cannot change a country in 2 years. There is a Fortune 500, for Fortune 500 companies. There was a research published in Harvard Business Review that even to change the culture of a Fortune 500 company, you need 5 to 7 years time. See, your behavior है, your culture है, your reform है, it is not done mechanically. It is not like an electric circuit, you switch it on and everything will be bright, and you switch it off, everything is dark. Human systems work in organic form. Wherever it takes just one hit to break your bone. Now to fix your bone, you need to have it here in a plaster for how many days? You just need to uproot a plant with one pull. You can uproot a plant with one pull. But to regrow it, you need many months and years so that it again grows. So human systems are organic. I mean, you cannot turn them around in 2 years. if we had 2 baris, they were only 2-year baris and total हमारा 4.5 साल बनता है. लेकिन yet if you देखिए एक आज हमारे लिए ज़रूरी है, which therefore I'm saying कि आप लोगों को informed judgment करना चाहिए, because you are the post 99 generation. For you, pre-99 period is BC. So you know, huh? So you basically need to have this view of history. For example, because you know, before 99, the 2 tenures of our regimes, as I said, that we are very proud that in those 2 years what we were able to do was very, meaningful. In the first 2 years, we gave this country economic reforms. In the first 2 years, we started this motorway without borrowing a single cent from outside. In the first 2 years, we had this digital telecommunication foundations laid in the country. In the first 2 years, we had this Ghazi Barota project on the ground, which was started. In the first 2 years, we had this Chashma nuclear power plant, and all those projects which I can say. But then our government was dismissed. In the second term when we came, we started again with reforms. The first set of reforms was capital market reforms. जो ये 2000 के बाद stock exchange और ये सारी चीज चली है, उन्हीं reforms पे चली है. We were the ones who turned around the sinking banks of Pakistan. Public sector banks जो है, जो डूब रहे थे, उनको हमने turn around कैसे किया? We brought the best CEOs from Citibank, Bank of America, ये शौकत तरीन और ये सारे लोग हम लोग लेकर आए थे. We made them presidents of Habib Bank, National Bank, United Bank. We gave them administrative autonomy. We gave them professional boards, and those banks were turned around. We privatized MCB, and today MCB is considered as one of the most successful banks in Asia. So you know, ये सारी चीजें, the same way we can turn around PIA, we can turn around railways. So those reforms were done by us. There were no other country. And lastly, let me tell you, you know, हमने जो पाकिस्तान को सबसे बड़ा सक्सेस स्टोरी दी, that was 98 and beyond. अगर उस वक्त नवाज शरीफ पाकिस्तान का प्राइम मिनिस्टर ना होता, I don't think that anybody could take the heat of that moment when the whole world was standing on one side, and which was the prime minister who decided that we will go nuclear. अगर उस वक्त आप ना गए होते, आज आपको कोई हाथ भी ना लगाने देता, भाग ले जाता. So, what was the cost of the economy? The cost, there was no cost, because you see, everything is not, everything, there was a huge cost, but the economic cost you have to also weigh against your independence.
But what's your anti-feudal agenda?
Look, the way India was bullying you before the nuclear blast, and look how India came to you through bus ride after the nuclear blast. I think through that nuclear diplomacy, we were able to, for the first time, strike parity in South Asia. And that parity gave us the Lahore peace process. And through that Lahore peace process, we could write a new history of South Asia. And that opportunity was lost. And that was, I think, a great failure for us, for this region.
Okay, before we go to the next question, if you could just maybe answer the question.
Feudalism, I mean, there were 2 ways to go about it. Either you could have...
approach on foreign policy is good.
That's fine, please let him answer the question.
How to deal with feudal agenda? Either we could have gone for land reforms early on, that was the best way. Or we should have implemented them in letter and spirit, we did not do. But now, I think that feudalism remains more of a niche in most of the Punjab, it is gone.
But still, it was very oppressive, sir. Very oppressive. You go to Wazirabad, you find out. It's very oppressive.
93 to 97, if you look at the process, rather 88 to 97, in 4 elections, many hoods or many stalwarts of feudal class, they were defeated in elections. For example, who could ever believe that Mr. Lagari would be defeated in Dera Ghazی Khan? In 97, he was defeated.
Still, they are very powerful. They are killers.
But then, what happened? Every time you have a martial law, that is a socially regressive intervention. How? An American, Nicholas Scott, former ambassador, asked me this question in Asia Society seminar in New York. what is the problem with your country does not throw new leaders? He said, it will never throw new leaders as long as you keep supporting military dictators. He said, what do you mean? I said, I give you my case study. I graduated from United States in 1986 and I went back with a vision or a dream of serving my country for public office. And in 7 years I was elected member of the National Assembly in 93. My first term was opposition. Second term, I was in government, I was Deputy Chairman Planning Commission. So I was climbing a ladder. And then came Musharraf. He was martial law. So what did it do? It took away my ladder and it threw me on ground zero. But the feudal, against whom I was climbing that ladder, it did not disempower that feudal. Rather co-opted those feudals in the power coalition and further strengthened their hold on the society. So every martial law becomes politically and socially a regressive intervention. It reconsolidates the hold of the feudals and disempowers the new emerging middle class, which is, which tries to make way for itself through democracy. So therefore, if we want to fight feudalism, look at India. In 1947, every state was run by a Brahmin chief minister, and today most of the states have Shudras or commoners or low caste walas as chief ministers. So continuity of the system is our best bet to defeat feudals, and mind you, within next 10 years, 50% of the Pakistani population will be urbanized. So as our demographics change, as education spreads, I think their hold is also...
Bilawal is the chairman because he is student.
Okay, sorry, I just have one quick question on what you just said. So does that mean that if there was no martial law in 1999, then maybe there could have been someone like Ahsan Iqbal leading Imran Khan today? Would that have been a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, if you have...
Do you not think that's beneficial for democracy?
Yeah, because you see, if you have continuity of system for at least 25 to 30 years, you need a 25 to 30 year stretch before someone who enters a system at entry level can rise to become, rise to the highest level in that system. So I mean, what has happened in India, they allowed that system to continue. And as a result, you have seen that people who entered it at entry level have their vision to become chief minister and prime minister through the system. So we need, as much as we hate or as much as we have dislike, there is no other better system the world has invented so far except for democracy. And the only cure for democracy, as President Clinton also said when he addressed Pakistanis, to have more democracy. We certainly need to renegotiate the terms of engagement, because if you have read probably Mr. Sharif's latest statement which he made in Haripur, he said we will help government if government wants to be more transparent and renegotiate the terms of engagement with the United States. We will give them unconditional support, because that is what we need.
But you will engage on this.
The choice is not this, that you break with the United States or you become their surrogate or their enemy. There is a third option. The third option is have a dignified relationship like Turkey has with the United States, because we both need each other. We cannot walk away from the United States and the United States cannot walk away from us. United States is still market for $8 billion to $10 billion worth of your textile exports. United States houses the best universities which we all aspire for our young boys and girls to go and get education. So, we need to have access to those resources.
Would you rethink the strategy that is presently?
Yeah, I think we need to renegotiate the war and terror strategy.
What in particular would you renegotiate? I mean, how would you go about it?
We need to have greater ownership and we need to have they need to listen to us how we will go about it rather than impose their prescription on us. We need to have more indigenous solutions.
Okay, with that I think we'll